Hello everyone, and welcome to another scary-filled episode of Starmen Sinister Spooktacular. I'm your host Devin. With me is Billy, Cody, and David.
Here's Johnny.
Hello, ghouls and goblins.
Hell to everyone.
And guys, I'm going to ask the biggest question for this time of year. What makes good horror?
Ooh.
So, what makes things scary? Is what we're really asking.
Yep.
Now, I do want to throw a mention out to the channel Vsauce on this. They did a really excellent video on what is the ultimate fear. And I'm going to put a link in the description for anyone who's interested. We're not sponsored, promoted, or associated to this channel, but I feel like this is a great place to look.
Yeah.
And not going to spoil any names on that video. But in your own personal opinion, what scares you, or when you watch a horror movie or play a horror game, what makes you go, yeah, that unnerved me? I'm a little freaked out.
Anything that's either gets in your head or stuff that you know that could actually happen.
Yeah. So you like the psychological horror.
Yeah.
And you like it to be relatively based on true events or on an event that could happen.
Yeah.
So the nightmare monster doesn't do it for you.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but...
Yeah. Or, the Slender Man won't scare Billy.
Okay, maybe.
I was like, wait, it's actually maybe. But, yeah, it's one of those, if it can be based in reality or there's a slight chance that it can be real,
Yeah.
then it gets to Billy.
Yeah.
Because I will admit, when I first when I started watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies and it says it's based or inspired by true events,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of scary though, until I read in the history of it,
Yeah.
which is also kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but a different kind of creepy.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh God, you suckers actually did this.
Oh, Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was only one guy.
Yeah. And
what a name to live up to.
hey, that Psycho inspired another Psycho.
Yeah.
Well, several. But
Yeah. We won't go into that. There's a documentary all on that.
oh, several.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David or Cody, you guys want to jump in on what you think makes horror happen?
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere is a big part of it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just if it's in the right setting at the right time, it unnerves you. Even when things don't actually happen.
Yeah.
And one I think of for the atmosphere is Cube.
Yeah. I can mention a few horror games. What's the one me and Curtis just watched yesterday? Phobia.
Okay.
It's an interesting one where you're stranded in a cabin, and for a good portion of the video game, nothing really happens, but the atmosphere makes you feel like something is going to happen.
Oh, so really messes.
It really messes with your head.
Nice.
Do it.
I guess I'll pick anything that questions your sanity or reality in a way.
Yes, that's part of getting into your head, but I love that answer because there's a difference between getting in your head and then warping your reality.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is impossible space.
Right.
This is where, an example of that is where you open a door and it doesn't lead where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You open your bathroom door, you know it goes into the bathroom.
Okay.
Say you wake up one night, you go to use the bathroom, and you're down in the basement.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Liz View concept.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or off a cliff.
Yeah, or God knows where.
Yeah.
You just walked off a plane.
Jesus. Yeah, that actually sounds really disturbing.
The other one of Impossible Space is where you enter like a small shack, but it's actually a giant mansion inside.
Okay.
That's actually kind of neat.
Yeah. I was like, that's cool and all, but it's not a scary Impossible Space, but it is an example of Impossible Space.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I already mentioned mine was being Impossible Spaces, and then psychological horror is always on my list. And even background music and noise.
Yeah.
There's a fine difference between happy carnival music and creepy carnival music.
Oh, is there ever?
And that's why Devin always like the evil Doink the Clown.
Yeah.
You just love that theme song.
Yep.
The scraping, the creepy violin.
Yeah. It's amazing how 2 notes off key can really set the mood.
Yep.
So, anyone want to throw out some like honorable mentions of things they've watched or played that really triggered their like fear senses, and explain why they did, like why it did it.
And just thinking.
Also, we're gonna look into like our levels of fear, like what really scares Billy, what really scares Cody, what really scares David and Devin.
Which for Devin, what a Devin, that's a tall order.
That's a tall order. I always make that joke. It's like I always act tough around fear because I don't want anyone to know how much of a huge coward I really am.
Kind of got 2.
Okay.
Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
And mainly because it just gets in your head. And
That was one that really gets to players' heads.
it's like, you don't know what's going on. You're just like, why? And Resident Evil 2.
Ah, the twos.
Yeah.
The terrible twos, we call them.
Yeah. Because I started playing Resident Evil 2 with, just no headphones, and I'm like, woohoo! And then I plugged in headphones and listened carefully, and I'm like,
I don't like this anymore.
I don't like how everything's
I've never heard it
creaking.
sound like that before. I don't think I like it.
That's sort of what I was thinking too. Because they did a good job with the ambient noise. It just made it so much more terrifying. It's like when Resident Evil actually becomes scary.
Do I hear footsteps, Cody?
Yeah. That's one point in the game. I heard footsteps.
Yeah.
They were good footsteps.
You know he's around, but you don't know where.
Yeah, you don't know where until the door opens.
Yeah. Or he
One
just clocks
time.
you.
Yeah.
Or burst through a wall.
That too.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time thinking of any for myself, but
Yeah.
you guys want to jump in.
Yeah, I'm running out of time.
I guess I find this kind of unnerving. You ever hear of Uncanny Valley?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
So Billy's looking at us like we have 2 heads. But
Yeah.
Do you want to explain it, or do you want me to explain it?
I'll try to explain it.
Alright, I'll fill in gaps.
Uncanny Valley is basically something that's looks human, but you can totally tell it's not. Like there's this certain level of inhumanist about it.
Okay.
All right.
Kind of like a mannequin.
So, I'll draw you a graph. So let's start up on top of one hill, and that is a total robot. You can tell this looks like Johnny Five from friggin'
Short circuit.
Short Circuit. Now, say we start transforming Johnny into what looks more human and human, until we get something that's closer to the Terminator.
Okay.
But you can tell the Terminator's not exactly human because of the way he moves, or there's something just off about him.
Okay.
And then that's where you hit the bottom of Uncanny Valley.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
And it doesn't have to always deal with humans. It can be an animal. It's just, it's something about it is not right, even though it looks like it should be something.
The dog thing.
Yes.
Yeah, like if the head flips upside down, or the person starts walking like a spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah.
As soon as you explain it, like, wait, I know something like that. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, you could take the dog from the thing and maybe the eyes are a little off.
Yeah.
Because you're like, that's a dog, but what the hell's up with its eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got those shifty eyes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. But no, that does freak me out when there's something like that in a movie or
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that would be quite freaky, actually.
Like, I don't have an honorable mention, but like this sudden change into monster-esque form always gets me. The Thing does this very well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's just a normal stomach. Now it's Jaws!
Yeah.
The more unholy it becomes, the more
Yeah.
terrifying it is.
And it's just like, you take the human form and it starts contorting
Yeah.
into something it shouldn't. So you get that in-between phase where it's a human, but it's like mangled human.
Right.
Wow.
The eyes shouldn't be there.
Yeah. It's like, your arm shouldn't bend that way.
Why does your stomach have a mouth?
Why am I asking questions instead of running away? So let's look at the flip side of the coin. What doesn't make good horror?
Jump scares.
Jump scares. Let's talk about these real quick.
Oh god, yeah.
I don't know what it is about jump scares and why everyone, like, everything has an obsession with it when you put it in horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like mandatory, you have to throw in a jump scare.
Yeah.
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 And I will argue you can do jump scares right, and then there's the just you're doing them too much, or there's just they're done poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, a jump scare done right is it's supposed to scare you at the moment and put you on edge.
Yeah.
But then it either you're supposed to ease off and have nothing happen for a while to stay your hand again,
Yeah.
or you follow it up immediately with something even more psychologically scary.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like maybe the monster pops out, but then some other unseen horror actually defeats the monster, but you don't know what that unseen horror is.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, that scared me, but it's gone now, but there's something worse.
It's like, oh, great. The scary thing's been replaced with something scarier.
Yeah. That's jump scare done right.
Oh yeah.
But there's so many times where it's jump scare after jump scare after jump scare.
Yeah. And just
Or it's jump scare, pause to another jump scare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's just random.
Yeah. So, Well, point of the jump scare is supposed to be random. Otherwise, if it's predictable, it's not going to be a jump scare.
No.
Oh no, I meant in a stupid way.
But in a stupid way. Like, when it's just like the scene didn't warrant a jump scare.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like, this is a comedy scene, but there was a jump scare in it for some reason.
Yeah. It's like the teens are partying, having fun, and then, like, whatever jumps out at them.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that sure was scary. Too bad I was laughing my ass off before then.
Yeah.
And I find with jump scares, they're just aggravating.
Yes, they are.
And cheap.
Like, they're cheap, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're a cheap form of scare.
Yep. I agree with that one.
It's like, yeah, sure, that scared me on the sense that, like, if you throw a baseball at my face, yeah, I'm going to flinch.
Yeah. Good analogy.
Yeah. Or I'm going to flinch, dodge, or do whatever, but that's how your fight or flight response works.
Yeah.
If you don't kill me, you're gonna regret it.
Other horror tropes I don't like are ones that, like, they try to explain their own psychological horror and try to get a deep meaning out of it.
Yeah.
Like, good example?
I'm trying to find a good example of that. I haven't seen it done recently, but it's more in video games, I find, than it is in movies.
Okay.
Movies just don't have the time to do it.
It's not enough to scare you, we have to psychologically explain why it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means it's not scary at all after
Yeah.
you explain it.
Like, it was scary. They explained it. It's like, really? I was scared because of this?
Yeah. But this isn't a great example of what I'm trying to explain, but the Hex. Dave, you can help me out on this one because we played through it there last year.
Oh, is that the one about the video game characters?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So the whole premise of the Hex is that you play for different genres of video game characters, because it's based around a murder mystery too.
Yeah.
But like the underlying thing is that the developer created these games and for one reason or another abandoned them,
And they're pissed.
and they're pissed. So they perform this ritual in their game world to kill their creator.
By reaching out and literally choking them.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
interesting premise. Just too much explanation as to like why they were out to kill their creator.
Yeah.
Which sadly doesn't happen until near the end, so they're
Yeah.
doing it so far. Then they just do this fake ending, and then you have to go through this monologue of what the creator was doing,
Yeah,
and then they kill him.
yeah. Then you get the plot dump for like, oh hey, the creator was actually kind of an asshole.
Yeah. And there you go.
There, I spoiled the Hex for you.
So, was this a movie?
No, it was a video
Yeah.
game.
Even I clued in on that one, Cody.
Where were you,
It
Cody?
sounds like a bad movie plot.
It was a bad game plot.
Yeah.
But stuff like that where the ending of the horror movie or game is just rushed and plot dumped. I want to say Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street, either 2 or 3, I forget which one, where they the guy goes and finds out about Freddy's back where his mother was.
Oh.
I think it was 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I really can't remember.
Yeah, they're all meshed together in my head.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But like, yeah, they do this whole plot dump of how Freddy was born, then how he turned into the murderer he was, and then how he was killed. And I was like, yeah, we kind of got a lot of that from the first movie. If you're watching the second movie and not watching the first movie, I expect there's going to be holes in the
Yeah.
logic. So either don't explain it and be like, hey, you didn't watch the first movie, this is what you missed.
Yeah, like a recap.
Yeah. Well, they over-recapped is
Oh,
what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
It's like,
Wow.
here's his whole backstory.
Yeah.
yeah, this should have been in the first movie if you were
Yeah.
going to do his backstory.
Yeah.
Don't do, here's the backstory from the first movie, and then some
So,
more.
there you go.
Yeah, the more you know about it, the less scary it becomes.
Yeah.
Or the more fuel you can use against it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the other thing. I hate when horror monsters have a weakness because you just find out way too much about them.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what can beat you? Oh, water.
Yeah. Like vampires were probably scary back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're not.
No.
Because there's so many weaknesses for them.
Yeah. I would love to see a vampire movie done where, like, we got the weaknesses wrong in history.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That
It's
was
like,
really-
garlic doesn't do shit to me.
It's like, hold on.
I can walk around in the daylight fine.
Like, oh, that cross does nothing.
Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to add to either like make horror good or make horror what makes horror bad?
Yeah, one thing is like you nailed a lot of good points.
Yeah.
That's
I know
Yeah.
this is usually done badly, like a lot, but when how do I put this? When they find out they're the monster,
Oh yeah.
like if it's done well, it hits home, but if not, it's just horrible.
Yeah. That's a very good point, Dave. Because that is a very tight rope to walk.
Yeah.
Because if you show too much of like he's actually secretly the monster, everyone,
yeah.
then it ruins the surprise at the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, of course he's the monster. You're fucking hinting at it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I meant more like it turned. How should I put this? The victim was more evil than the monster,
Okay.
sort of thing. Like if it's done well, like they used to be able to do that well, but now it's kind of cheesy. Like
Yeah.
what was a cheesy example was I Am Legend,
Yeah.
like the Will
Yeah.
Smith movie.
Yeah.
Like the deleted version where it turns out the only reason why the zombies were after Will was because he like attacked or hit or kidnapped one of the children or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But they changed that for the main ending because
Yeah, I remember. No.
So the one I recently just watched is Monster Party, and I'm going to spoil the ending to this. So if you haven't seen it yet,
Oh well.
maybe see it. I don't care. But the premise is that these 3 teenagers are trying to burgle this house for money because one of the teenagers' dad owes money to this kind of loan shark.
Bookie Won't Shark.
Yeah. So they hit this mansion, but this mansion is a house full of serial killer in rehab.
Oh,
I know, it's just a
my.
concept, right?
Yeah, the concept is. That's the only reason I watched. The concept sounded hilarious.
Serial killers in rehab.
Yeah, like they're trying to live normal lives and stop killing.
sounds like the start of a great comedy.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo shenanigans, here we come.
Like I had some good laughs in it, but like not enough to warrant a rewatch and not enough to really recommend.
Right.
But what the point I'm trying to get at is at the end, the one of the teens starts. He leaves the horror situation. Then he goes and he just goes on a killing spree on his own. He kills the bouncer at the club that the guy owns, and then goes in, kills like the workers, and then eventually kills the loan shark.
Oh, wow.
Right.
And the movie just ends there.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the point where like he becomes the monster.
Yeah. He became worse
Wow.
than what he fought.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna have to wrap this up. But any final points that anyone wants to add?
I mean, yeah. I I had some.
Oh yeah, I did have something I wanted. Another good horror element, I've seen this done more and more, is, how do I explain this one? When it takes away one of our senses. Like,
Like you can't see it or hear it or
you
something?
can't see it, you can't hear it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't smell it, or you can't, like, touch it.
Okay, yeah.
You can't even detect it.
Yeah,
That's
You never know
interesting.
what's going to strike.
There you go, yeah.
yeah,
Like Venom.
yeah. Like, what's the quiet place, I
Place,
think?
yeah,
Where they
place.
can't talk, sound attracts them.
Yeah.
I forget the one, but it's the one with the blind guy.
Oh. Get out?
Get out or something.
Yeah, I think.
Not get out.
Which, no, don't
Don't breathe.
breathe. Yes, because
Yeah.
that was a good one.
That was a good one, where it takes away your sight,
Yeah.
and he's better at being blind than you are,
Yeah.
so he has home field advantage.
Right.
There's one other, and I can't remember what it is or what sense it played on, so I'm not going to bother trying to remember.
I think I might know what you're thinking of.
Oh,
The movie Hush,
I think so?
the one with the deaf woman and the guy's trying to break in.
Yes, that's it.
Good job,
Good
Cody.
God, John Cody on my vague explanation of nothing.
Oh.
Think
And,
of a gold star around here somewhere for you.
God, I think I have a dog biscuit here. And It Follows is another good one.
Hey,
Nice. That's a cool concept, actually.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I like to see more of this where
Yeah.
it plays on your senses, because that messes with people so much.
oh yeah, no, like so like the Don't Breathe one, that one.
Yeah.
That one was really good.
Cody David, final thoughts.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much covered everything we need to talk about. There might be a revisit later if we think of anything, but
Yeah.
Right.
until then, I'm your host, Devin.
Billy, rest in peace.
Cody, and remember, it's always better to be dead.
I'm David. Tick tock, tick tock.
Sleep well, everyone.